So this right here is an Olympus Mju II. It's a 35mm point and shoot film camera. It has an f2.8 35mm lens on it. So this is the version that everyone and their nan has wanted at some point in their lives. And a lot of people think this is one of the best point and shoot film cameras of all time. But a lot of people also think having the words live, laugh, love written on the back wall of their lounge in front of their sofa is a good idea as well. So, you know. Am I saying that the Olympus Mju II is the live, laugh, love of the film camera world? Yes, it would appear that I am. So I've never said this is a bad camera. Okay, that might be a lie, actually. I probably have. But whilst I don't particularly care for it personally, when you actually look at this camera for what it is, Olympus knocked it out of the park when they made this thing. In terms of like a product standpoint, it's tiny, the lens is really good, and it has a spot meter. So what do I mean when I say that the internet ruined it? Mate, Loki thought that cat was dead. Whew. I'm glad you're okay, mate. You have a nice day. Terrifying. Well, there was a time when this camera was basically unbuyable. Like, you'd go onto the internet, go onto eBay, slap in the words Olympus Mju II, and you'd be met with either bid sales that have gotten very out of hand and someone was about to be eating beans on toast for lunch for the rest of the month, or buy it now prices north of like £400, which for a fully electronic camera that was released in 1997, that was absolutely not intended to still be used in 2026, is crazy. So how did this svelte little camera, great word svelte by the way, receive this insane cult status? Well, long story longer, a bunch of famous people, could have been a Kardashian, I don't actually know, largely because I'm an adult and I don't fucking care, but a bunch of famous people started talking about film point and shoots on social media or whatever, and so lots of people went sprinting to the internet to buy them. Kind of like the whole chihuahua in a handbag thing. Anyway, at like the same time that this is happening, YouTube erupts with videos along the lines of the Olympus Mju II is the best film camera ever made, so on and so forth, because they're getting loads of views, and then that's encouraging people to make them, and then they got the engagement and blah, blah, blah. You know the drill. And this is where things take a bit of a tragic turn for the Mju II, not the Pokemon, the camera. But what's really sad for the Mju II is that it's kind of just the collateral damage in the whole Contax T2 and T3 blowing up, that when those hit like the thousands in prices, people went to look for the next best thing, and that sadly looked like it was the Olympus Mju II, and it just kind of became part of this whole buying frenzy. Because the problem now is that it's not just a random bunch of celebrities that don't know their aperture from their anus that are hyping up the prices and demand for this camera, but you've also got people who are evidently good at photography making videos and stuff saying that this camera is that good. And so expectations and demand for a product that isn't even being made anymore go through the roof, along with, of course, its price. And now we have this potent mix of buy an Olympus Mju II because it's a great fashion accessory to carry around and put on your Instagram stories because that's what the people who have lifestyles that you aspire to are doing, and the Olympus Mju II is the best point and shoot camera ever type YouTube videos, and you have got yourself a good old-fashioned price gouging buying spree on your hands. Yee, and I cannot stress this enough, ha, welcome to the American dream, baby! But the issue with the widespread sensationalizing of how good this camera is that the second you call something the best ever, it's never going to live up to those expectations despite it being a good camera. Like I mentioned earlier on in the video, Olympus made a great camera with the Mju II, but spending anywhere between £200 to £400, and I've seen even higher than that on eBay, on this thing in like 2026, when it could just break tomorrow for no reason, no chance. Also, speaking of breaking, you've probably noticed all the light leaks on the photos that I've been throwing up on screen. That's coming in from around the lens, and that's like a common thing with these cameras, is that the seals can break down or whatever. But with it being around the lens, I don't think there's actually any way for me to fix it. It's just where the like light seals have deteriorated over time. This is like a 30-odd-year-old camera, right? Like, this camera came out in 1997, so you know. So a little tip for anyone who is thinking of picking one of these up and you want to check to see if the light seals around the lens are bingoed, what you can do is you pop the camera open, and then as you press the shutter button, you pull the battery out at the same time, and it makes the lens sort of freeze like this. So it's like sticking up. It was pulling focus, I pulled the battery out, and now the lens is like stuck up. And then what you can do is you can shine like the flashlight on your phone into here, and you will see the light coming through if there are light leaks. You're welcome. Anyway, all of this is to say that the internet has now claimed yet another victim of trend culture, and I think there is a wider conversation to be had about photography and celebrity culture, and this crazy blueprint that every Nepo baby seems to follow of buying a Leica, taking utterly shite photos, and getting featured in Vogue because daddy has a very famous right foot, and how that trickles down into the rest of the industry. But honestly, I don't feel like I have the vocabulary to like explain how much that disgusts me without just swearing loads. Maybe that's because I wasn't privately educated, eh? Or maybe it's just because I think elephants are actually really easy to take photos of because they are, checks notes, fucking massive and they live in the sun. But I digress. Now to finish this video off, I'm going to list the pros and cons on screen right now of this camera in my time sort of just using it. So this is from my own personal experience with this camera, and this might help you out a little bit if you're thinking about picking one of these up, because I've got no bias. Like either way, I don't really care. I obviously don't love this camera, but also I can appreciate that it is good. I don't want to speak too soon, but the prices actually seem to be coming down on these a little bit. I wonder if it's just because people are buying them a bit less. I know they are prone to breaking, so you know, which is fair. It's a very old camera and it's fully electronic, so... But yeah, this could kind of be the market resetting itself a little bit. So this might be helpful if you see one and it's on a good deal, deciding whether you want to pick it up or not. But to summarize, this camera is good when it is good, but I would not be paying over the odds for it. Just buy literally any other point and shoot. You can buy just literally any other point and shoot with a prime lens and autofocus. And so let me know in the comments, do you have an Olympus Mju II? Do you love it? Are you like team Olympus Mju II, or are you kind of just like, it's expensive, I could buy 10 point and shoots for that amount of money? One of them, at least one of them must be good, right? And also let me know if you've ever managed to take a photo of an elephant, because if you have, apparently you're an above average photographer, so well done you. Anyway, thanks for being here. Thank you for checking out the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like it, consider subscribing to the channel, all that good stuff. I hope you are well. I hope your family is well, but most importantly, I hope your pooch is well. Please provide your doggo with a little scratch ideas from me, and hopefully I will catch you in the next one. Peace.